Look at all the things that we can explore. So why do we have to do them one at a time? Welcome to Short Attention Span Theater, where the only limits are how far your mind can stretch.
Breathe deep, the gathering gloom.
Breathe deep. Ooh. You're gonna breathe deep where I'm at up here right now, I'll tell you that. Might get icicles in your lungs. How you doing out there? This is Rick Lotek, high above in the mountains for the Short Attention Span Theater. It's good that you can make it, but I hope you brought a coat. Because it's cold up here. How you doing on your Monday edition of the Short Attention Span Theater Show? Let's see, what we going to do today? We're not going to do nothing. We're just going to sit here and... I've been trying to build a fire for about the last hour. Maybe you can help me out here. Yeah, anybody know how to build a fire? And any of you guys ever... Has any of you guys even got a match or something? I mean... We've been up here trying to build this fire for an hour and rubbing sticks together, and it just doesn't work. But I can remember what it was like back down there, back up here in the mountainside where the chalet is, away from the wind and the air and the cold and the snow. Oh man, it seems like it's always cold on the Short Attention Span Theater. Trying to get this campfire, this fire lit. Oh, I done burnt my fingers off. Oh shit, that hurt. Oh, seems like we got it going now. We got a little bit of a fire going there. Anyway, hey, you know what? It's so nice to be here because here's where things happen here on, Short Attention Span Theater. And let's see, where are we going to go today? Who can say? But I'll tell you one thing. We're headed up to the chalet again for that concert series. And again, you never know who's going to be on the air up there and who's going to be at the concert, or even for that matter, which concert hall we're even going to stumble into. There's so many of them. But if you were listening last night, then there's that fire coming up. Burn, fire, get us warm, get us warm. Getting frost on the broadcast equipment here. But anyway, if you remember last night, we were in the chalet, and I always wondered why there were no vehicles or anything like that outside of the chalet. I mean, in a place where there are thousands of people. But it didn't take much looking around for us to discover that there's a railroad underneath there. And not just like a little underground thing either. It attaches to a real terminal. Of course, I'm not supposed to be talking about that, and I certainly can't tell you where it's at, what the name of it is, or show you any images of it. Because, of course, if I did, that would violate my contract, and no more concerts for us. But take heed, I understand that they're going to have some great country music up there tonight. We're at least going to look for the country music venue. One night we went down, as you remember, if you were with us, we went and listened to Kiss. No, I'm not kidding now. I'm not even exaggerating. Kiss was there. They were there. One night it was Thompson twins. Let's see. I forget. There's so many places, so many things to do up there on that mountaintop. Oh, that wind is a-howling. You know what? This reminds me of a time. Was working up there on the ski valley at the lodge. We had been snowed in for 3 days. No customers in, no customers out. The road was closed. I managed to get involved in a skiing accident where I guess I was showing my ass. You know, nobody was working. The chalet was closed. We were all drinking and having a good time for 3 days. So I'm coming down off the sea slope, the one with the black and the yellow marker. That's the one. Been down it many times. I knew it pretty well. It was a rough slope, but the advanced slope. So here I come down there. I figure, hey, the chalet had this patio that was connected to there was stairs, and because it went back a ways, it was level with the ground toward the end. So I thought, yeah, I'll just ski right up there on the old porch and right past the windows, show off and in front of everybody and have a great time. What I didn't know was that the snow on the porch was about 5, 6 feet. And we had gone through with shovels and cut a path through. This is a patio. There were seats out there and tables and that. I forgot that there were tables and chairs in the snow. So I come burning down off the mountain, jump up there on the porch, and I decide I'm going to burn a new trail across, and there was that chair. I did a double flip-flop over that thing and landed on my back. They scooped me up. I thought I'd broken my back, and so did they. So they called the ambulance on me, and the ambulance company was up there on the mountaintop because it was a 17-mile ride down the mountain. 17 miles at that speed take you about an hour and a half, 2 hours to drive. Yeah, so the fire department guys, they were down there in the chalet having a good time anyway. So they rushed down there and grabbed a brand new ambulance. And this brand new ambulance was hot too. It was all set up with all the new stuff. I mean, it had all-wheel drive. It had a diesel engine. It had tandems on the back and all that good stuff. And they come up there with the mountain and they loaded me up in this thing. Now we got to get down the mountainside to the hospital. It's bad enough that I think my back's broke. So we're driving down the mountainside in this brand new truck, and the ambulance, and it slides off the road, hits a patch of ice, drops down a culvert about 150 feet, and basically we spent the night there in this ambulance. So waiting for help the next day when they came and they pulled us up back on the road, put me into a different ambulance and drove me down the mountainside. But you know what? It's kind of cool the night before. This thing had a generator on board, so we weren't cold. And luckily it landed on its wheels. We had just slipped off. So we spent the night in there. And I guess they had a refrigerator with snacks and stuff. So, it wasn't that bad. It was just frightening. And the wind howled like this all night long. And it we didn't know if they would ever even find out where we were at, you know, in terms of where we had slid off the road. And when they finally found us, that was what they told us, why it took so long, and that they were lucky that somebody noticed the tire tracks went straight off the road, and that's how they found us. And hadn't it been for that, wouldn't have found us at all. So, and that wasn't the hard part, to tell you the truth. The hard part was when I got released from the hospital and I'm on crutches. Now I got to find a way to get back up there, because I was staying in a house up there. You know what the people do that live up there on the ski valley is they don't really live up there year round. They have houses up there, cabins and that, and they'll spend a week or two in them all through the year, and the rest of the time they'll rent the cabin out to people like me who lived up there and worked up there. So it was great. But you know, all you had to do was, for that 2 weeks of the year, you had to evacuate the house and get out of there. I remember the hardest part was getting in and out. So here I am with crutches. I managed to get this poor guy who was getting off to take me down to where the road began. The highway started up the mountain. And he said, that's as far as I can go. I dared. He had a minivan. I said, yes, sir. You ain't going nowhere. I'll walk. It's 17 miles. But, you know, a lot of people lived up there, and I wasn't worried about it. Pretty soon, a big old four-wheel drive with some country folk come along hunting. And those big old tires, they didn't have no trouble getting back up there. And so it ended all right. But sliding off the mountainside in the back of an ambulance is no fun. Boy, that wind is something, ain't it? Jeez. What happened to our fire? Oh, there it goes. The things we go through to get up here to the chalet. I imagine last night it was just a fluke that we found the train and got out of there. Because I don't think that was made for us, that train. It looks like they don't care who's coming out of there. It's trying to get back in there. That's the issue. You can't do that. But we're going to do it, friends, before the night's over, because we've got the helicopter coming for us to take us to the concert. Isn't that cool? Is that cool? And in the meantime, we are going to engage in some of that music. I think the music is pretty cool. But boy, that wind is bad. Ooh. Blow my fire right out. I'm going to start off the evening with a little bit of dreamy, soft jazz by the Jazz Routine, and only right here on ferlive.com, The Ferret, where you will hear such hits as this. We'll be right back in a little while. Don't you go nowhere. And we're heading up the top of the mountain to the chalet for that concert. And this is Rick Lotek with the Short Attention Span Theater. We'll see you in a little bit. Good evening and welcome to Short Attention Span Theater. Do you like that sweet sound? Don't go nowhere because we got lots more for you. Only here on ferlive.com, The Ferret. Stick around because up soon we're going to the concert. Just sitting around here waiting on the helicopter to show up. In the meantime, there's a chip machine over there, a soda, whatever. Comp a seat up here next to the fireplace. Waiting for the helicopter. Ah, yes, you're listening to Short Attention Span Theater. Welcome aboard. What's going on your Monday night? How's everybody going out there? Want to say hello to our YouTube fans, to our YouTube guests, everyone out there on YouTube. What's happening? Leave a special shout out to all the yellow vests in the UK. Hallelujah. Also, I want to give you some information later on about how to get a yellow vest, because I just can't believe that they're becoming hard to find. Maybe in the UK, yeah, I believe that. But I want you to know that if you're having trouble finding a yellow vest, you let me know. Yeah, I'm a former truck driver. I get a yellow vest for you, so let me know. And we're going to get back to the music right now. You're listening to the smooth sounds of Short Attention Span Theater, only right here on ferlive.com, The Ferret. We'll be right back. Yes, and the sound is so sweet. But alas, there is the need for other things. Let's get it together right now, shall we? This is from Offense, spelled E-F-E-N-C-E, Offense. Song entitled From a Future We'll Never Know. Right here on FERlive.com, The Ferret. Listening to the Short Attention Span Theater right here on FERlive.com. Hey, stick around because coming up next, the Chalet Concert, and you're not going to want to miss that because we never know what we're going to see. So keep it tuned right here on FERlive.com, Short Attention Span Theater. That's right, you're on board with the #1 flat earth-oriented radio station that's also streaming live on YouTube. Only here at ferlive.com, The Ferret. Check it out for your Monday evening. And remember, don't go nowhere, because coming up after the commercial break, we're headed for the helicopter to take us to the chalet. And at this time, we're going to break away for about 10 minutes for our commercial brief and a Flat Earth news brief from the guys at FENewsNet.com. Stay tuned for another hour of short attention span theater, and also stick around for the Chalet concert coming up next. And we'll be right back after this message. I'm your host, Rick Lotek, and this is the one and only Short Attention Span Theater. We're going to break away right now. Tell you what about this weather that's been so incredible out there? I mean, look at this. It's not even snowing out there. It's not raining. It's not anything. It's nice. How about that? But as I said, stick around. We'll be right back after this. Brought to you by FENewsNet.com. This is another Flat Earth news brief, and I'm Rick Lotek. The Flat Earth rocket man, Mad Mike Hughes, finally went up. Just like the self-taught rocket scientist always pledged he would, he came back down in one piece, a little dinged up, and his steam-powered vessel is a little cracked up. Still, mission accomplished for a guy more daredevil than engineer, who drew more comparisons to the cartoon character Wile E. Coyote from his critics than he did to iconic stuntman Evel Knievel. Mad Mike Hughes, the rocket man who believes the Earth is flat, propelled himself about 1,875 feet into the air before a hard landing in the Mojave Desert. He told the Associated Press that outside of an aching back, he's fine after the launch near Amboy, California in March of this year. Relieved, he said after being checked out by paramedics, "I'm tired of people saying I chickened out and didn't build a rocket. I'm tired of that stuff. I manned up and I did it." The launch in the desert town about 200 miles east of L.A. was originally scheduled in November. It was scrubbed several times due to logistic issues with the Bureau of Land Management and mechanical problems that kept popping up. The 61-year-old limo driver converted a mobile home into a ramp and modified it to launch from a vertical angle so he wouldn't fall back to the ground on public land. For months, he's been working on overhauling his rocket in his garage prior to the March takeoff. It looked like he might be on another string of cancellations. The wind was blowing and his rocket was losing steam, but he managed to pull it off, and that's pretty much what matters. 2 Cape Canaveral launch towers meet their end. This story from July 12th of 18. Cape Canaveral Launch Complex 17 has been through a lot. Originally built to launch Thor missiles in the 50s, the complex's 2 pads ended up as the launch site for dozens of Delta rockets over the past several decades. All that has come to an end, however, as the complex's historic launch towers have been demolished to make way for something new. Those towers helped to launch several high-profile NASA missions over the years, including the Pioneer probes and the Spirit and Opportunity Mars rovers. However, in 2011, the Delta rocket launchers were moved to Vandenberg Air Force Base. So these two twin towers have sat unused for almost a decade. The Delta program itself is ending soon, so it's likely that these towers would never see action again. And for that reason, the launch complex's owners have decided to get rid of the towers to make room for something new. A new launch site for Startup Moon Express, which was the finalist in Google's Lunar X Prize, while the X Prize itself ended without a winner. Moon Express and some other contestants aren't giving up on their goal of landing a spacecraft on the moon.
This has been an FER Live News Brief, featured at the top of each hour every hour throughout the day. For additional Flat Earth news, log on to FENewsnet.com.
www.ferlive.com. Flat Earth
Radio that makes us see. You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you on. Brought to you on. Brought to you by RADI.
Flat Earth Radio is a production of Flat Earth Media Group.
At least 1 in 3 women around the world will suffer violence in their lifetime. They will be beaten, coerced into sex, harassed and silenced simply because they are women. Violence against women kills more women than cancer, motor vehicle accidents and malaria. But we can stop this.
Let's join together as one. Support love without violence. Never accept, never allow, never use violence against women and children. If you see it happening, call 1300, the one-stop call center for victims of violence. Strong hands stop violence against women and girls. This has been a public service announcement from FER Radio.
You're listening to The Ferret, FERlive.com.
The Ferret.
I want to break free. I want to break free.
You're listening to The Ferret, FERlive.com.
Everybody here is out of sight. They don't bark and they don't bite. They keep things loose, they keep things alive.
The Ferret.
To find something, such as information, by careful searching.
The Ferret.
Search tenaciously.
The Ferret.
Ferlive.com. The Ferret.
The Ferret.
This is FBRLive.com, The Ferret. Thank you for listening.
Hey there. This is FurLive.com, The Ferret. The only flat earth-related music and talk integrated, never ever overrated internet radio station coming to you live directly from San Diego, California, USA. We'll get back to our programming shortly, but first, a message from our sponsors. Please don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Once again, this is FurLive.com, The Ferret. Please stand by, and the earth being flat and immovable should make that easy for you. So don't be silly, do as I say, otherwise I'll sick the ferret on you. Just kidding.
FurLive.com is currently accepting advertising of almost any nature. Here's your chance to get your business up and running by reaching the flat earth public. If you've got anything in mind, or if you want our design department to design your ad, we can do all the effects and voiceovers or whatever your needs. Call FurLive.com at 619-552-2000 and we'll get you started on your way to advertising, right here on The Ferret. Thanks for your interest.
Remember, try advertising right here on The Ferret. You'll enjoy international coverage, a listener database of 78,000 listeners, 24-hour a day, 7-day-a-week programming, your choice from our wide range of hosts and personalities, and pricing that cannot be equaled anywhere. If your business is involved in publication of flat earth music, or you have a couple of flat earth tunes that you want to share with the world, please call us right away. We're looking for you. Advertise with FurLive.com, The Ferret. Call us today or write to us. info@verlive.com. We can solve all your internet radio advertising needs. Ask about our new advertiser discount.
This is Rick Lotek reminding you to listen to the Shadow Effect Show every weekday afternoon, evening, Monday through Friday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 o'clock p.m. Central, and 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Time. The Shadow Effect Show. This is where you need to be, Flat Earth, right here.
Flat Earth Radio presents The Shadow Effects Show with your host, the one and only Rick Lotek. Weekdays, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, and 5 p.m. Pacific. Listen live every day to The Shadow Effects Show. The search for the shape of the Earth is the search for truth. Flat Earth Radio.
And welcome back. This is the second hour of the Short Attention Span Theater. How you doing out there? How's everything going? You staying warm? Of course, it's not very cold. Just hasn't been cold this winter so far. I shouldn't say that, you know, because that could change at any moment, I expect. There you are. How's it going out there on your Monday evening, Monday afternoon? Depends on which side of the flat earth you're on, I guess. You know, one thing about that cool jazz music is it's just that. It's cool and it's jazz music. Check this one out here. This is one of them sleepy little tunes. Right here on Short Attention Span Theater, FERLive.com, The Ferret. Welcome. Welcome to a place where you never know what's going to happen next. Good day and welcome to the Short Attention Span Theater. We're up here on the chalet awaiting our time and just kind of wasting the time with some incredible music. Ah, yes, ah, yes, ah, yes. There's going to come a time in your life, friends, when all that banging head wall of music becomes too much for you. And you're going to seek something more, I don't know, substantial. What's up, friends out there? How you doing on a Monday night? This is the Shadow Effects here. They call me Lotek. Welcome to your Monday night. And we're playing, as somebody said, a little bit of brain music. Right here on ferlive.com, The Ferret. Stick around, we got a concert coming up. We got a concert to go to. And it's always a surprise. We never know till we get there. So do stick about. And that'll be coming up here in the show later on. So in the meantime, stay with us. ferlive.com, The Ferret. How's it going out there this afternoon, this evening on the flat earth? And you're listening live to Short Attention Span Theater. And I'm your host, Rick Lotek. Stick around for a little while longer, because we got a concert to go to. In the meantime, enjoy this brain food music. And you're listening live to the Short Attention Span Theater. And as you can see, in a show of solidarity, I've got my yellow vest. Because we here at FERlive.com, we support the yellow vest people out there. Anyone who has the calmness, anyone who has the courage to come forward and face the man and go against the machine has got our support. And, you know, for the longest time, friends, we have been in need of a show of solidarity. We have been in need of some kind of a general image to, you know, help us come together under the same generalized idea, under the same flag, if you will, because that's exactly what is necessary in this day and age and in the collective. We need to come together, and let us come together. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to come to, all right, you're going to switch to, if you're watching on YouTube, check this out a little bit. You can see the lowest price that I've found for a high visibility vest, yellow neon vest, was through Amazon.com for $4.87 each. $4.87. I mentioned this because I heard earlier a friend of mine contacted me and said, hey, you're a trucker, where do you find the yellow vests at? They're becoming very scarce. And I just couldn't believe that. And then another guy said, yeah, they're running about between $18. You can spend $30 on them. Sure, you can. You can. You can spend $30 on them if you want. You know, that's if you want to. If you want to get the deluxe package, one that keeps you warm and you know, all that stuff, you can spend $30 on one. But if you look here on YouTube, if you can see, for an extra large 2-pack is $4.99, and that is once again through Amazon.com, and there are other places as well. Let's take a look here real quick, because I just absolutely couldn't believe it when people were telling me that they're having difficulties finding yellow vests. I couldn't believe that. Look at this one right here. Here is a 10-pack for $23 American, $24 American. There's 10-pack right there, and that's like $2 a vest. So, you know, and get this: if you're going to get some of these things and you're heading out to someplace, you know, demonstration or whatever like that, first thing that I want you to do is to be damned careful. Because understand the ramifications of this yellow vest. We've been looking for a unifying symbol for a long time. This unifying symbol could be anything. It could be something like a green vest. So yeah, why not? Understand that we've come under the movement now. We've come under the collective. And it is definitely time that we all joined underneath the same banner. And what a banner this is! Unlike the previous, everyone thought before that we were going to gather under the banner of that mask of the Anonymous, but thankfully that's not going to happen because Anonymous they said, no, we don't want you to know who we are. We're afraid. But that's not what's happening right now with the yellow vest. We're no longer afraid. We want you to see us. We want you to know who we are. And that, quite frankly, we protest. So, yours, you know. Get your yellow vest right now wherever you can, friends. I highly recommend it. These ones here, I've used these a lot when I was a truck driver. And what's nice about these is that they're relatively disposable. Now, you're not going to want to get the kind that they're made out of a webbing. They're made out of this cheap construction webbing. But because that way you can't write on the back of them. See, if you look at these right here, these are made out of plastic. These are the kinds you want. Right there where it says, well, you know, you can see them right there. Hopefully you can see that. And like I said, look at that. It was a 12-pack or 10-pack for less than $27. So I don't want anyone to tell me again that there's an issue finding yellow vests. I've got mine because I spent years as a truck driver. I used to have a stack of them. I probably do somewhere. And it was amazing to me when someone came up and said, hey, you know, have you seen what they're doing with the yellow vests? They're making it the symbol of the collective. And I was proud to hear that, because when I first started these things, I looked like a fool out there. It's about 3 years ago. Now everybody's wearing them. All the trucking companies are wearing them. The insurance company is demanding it, so it should be that way. So, hey, great. Get your yellow vest today. I should go out there, and I'm going to do that. I swear I'm going to buy me a truckload of these damn yellow vests for $27, and we're going to go out there to the next protest where they're whacking heads and the cops are all over the place. Get your yellow vest here. $112 a piece. No, I'm just kidding. That's what they call racketeering, I believe. They got some nasty words for people who do such things, but I wanted to show you exactly how much you can spend on one of these things. I remember once my wife and I were at a truck stop. It was very cold outside, so we go, yeah, let's get them. Get the big kind that has the coat built in. So if I can find out where that went. Yellow vest. Oh, get this. Look. We said yellow vest, and they thought we meant paisley. Oh. He said yellow vest. We thought you meant paisley. Get my yellow paisley vest right now. My yellow paisley vest. No, dummies, we weren't talking about yellow vest, okay? Get this, a yellow dinner jacket. Oh, there's the next collective movement, friends. The yellow vest. If you're listening on the radio station, oh, that's too bad. You need to be listening and checking out the YouTube site as well, because that's where you're going to see a yellow vest. I mean, you can't blame Google or whatever the search engine is. When you said yellow vest, man, we thought you meant, like yellow vest. Okay. No, sorry about that. We meant actually yellow vest. There's one for $5, and that one's kind of neat too, because it's got the pockets. And oh yes, that's the one you want right there. And again, look at that price there for a double X, $674. Now, you got to go out and get you a couple of cases of these damn things and go out and sell them. And Mom, I'm going to the protest. Billy, don't get in trouble. No, Mom, I'm not going to protest. We're going up there to sell some yellow vests, huh? And naturally, the first thing that Mom's going to pop into Mom's head is, yellow vest? Did you say you're going to sell some yellow vests? Yeah, Ma, yellow vest, right, Ma, yellow vest. And anyway, if you're just joining us, welcome aboard to Short Attention Span Theater. And I'm your host, Rick Lotek, a.k.a. The Shadow Effects. You digging that music yet? Calm yourself, soothe yourself, back it off. You know that dark forces feed on your frustration and your fear and your negative energy. Don't give them that feast. With some people, it's candlelight and soft music, whatever. With some people, it's just soft music. Either way, whatever it is, don't let it get to you. Learn how to unwind. Because if you don't, it's going to kill you. Sorry to say that. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. You know, yellow vests, I've always thought that was a great symbol, yellow vest, because it says, recognize me. Look over here, man. Don't run me over. And, oh, isn't this something? They've got them for the dogs, too. Although, I don't understand why anybody in their right mind would take a dog to a protest. Do you? I can remember scenes from the Occupy Wall Street. What a joke. I remember seeing them pepper spraying a dog, pepper spraying a young girl, pepper spraying an old lady. They fucking pepper sprayed themselves, man. I love cops. I love cops. I love cops. 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 I don't like cops. I don't care. There's nothing on my mind in this moment except for one thing. Flat Earth, flat Earth, flat Earth. Ah, yes. Who's going to stand up for the flat Earth? Who's going to know when it's time? Huh? You know, the danger with being on the wrong side of the fence is that you could get caught there. And you could actually give the impression that that's the side you're on. So you don't want to be caught on the wrong side of the fence, do you now? There's a lot of things that you don't want to do. You don't want to be there when the curtain goes down and the lights come up at the burlesque house or the porn theater. You don't. When the lights come on, do you want to be caught there? Such is the same for the flat Earth. Where do you want to be? Do you want to be, when the lights come on, do you want to be on the wrong side? Or do you want to be on the side that's real? The flat Earth. The search for the flat Earth is a search for truth, not just a search for the planet's size and shape. Hell, you listen to them, you would begin to believe that you live on a toilet paper roll or round. Here, let me show you an example. I can only show you this on YouTube, so get with it. Collect yourself. Check out YouTube. Here's the image right here. I collect these images. I post them everywhere. I call this one Lake because of Lake Pontchartrain. Now, I want you to see this. If you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see this. If you're not, hopefully I'll do a good enough job describing it. And here we are. Can you see this on YouTube? Oh, wait a minute. Let me switch. No. Sorry. This is what happens when you get too many scenes built up on your OBS. You know what I mean? Definitely try and get rid of deleting those scenes on your OBS, because if you don't, you'll never even know where you were. Like right now. Okay, where was I? Here's what we're trying to do. I wanted to show you this, but I guess I'm not going to be able to. I apologize. Anyway, what it was just simple. It was just a little piece of work here that I did to show maybe some of you have seen this these images floating around, a video of the power lines at Lake Pontchartrain. Let's see, on these power lines you can see in this image that the power lines look like they're following the curve of the earth, and the round earth community has latched onto this phenomena, and they're saying, looky here what we've got proof of the earth and being round. And get this, I've even had flat earth people in my group come to me and say, you know what, I'm converting back. I saw those pictures and I saw the curvature of the earth, and I'm converting back to a rounder. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Before you go, let me tell you this, okay? What you're looking at is a mirage, monsieur. Oh, beaucoup plus mirage, CSW, sans français, assez mirage. Mirage is a French word which means an illusion. Mirage. Now, it's perfectly okay for flapjack talking head weatherman in Chicago, Illinois, to tell people who are looking across the lower southern half of Lake Erie, looking 65 miles across the lake and seeing the buildings of Chicago. And it seems that these people are calling in, asking this weatherman, hey, why can we, we're not supposed to be able to see 65 miles. So the guy goes, well, it's a mirage, okay? It's a freaking mirage, man. You guys ain't really seeing it. And they're going to use this as evidence that we're seeing mirage. But the truth of the matter is that anyone who is looking at that image, the image of the power lines going off into the distance and conducting a sharp bow downwards, as if to cover the roundness of the earth. But here's the thing. You have to find that image. I'm trying to locate it right now so that I can show it to the guys and gals there on YouTube. This image is clear because it when you look at this thing, it's the darndest thing. Everybody's looking at it and they're all running away. They're going, it shows the curve. And like I said, I've actually had seemingly intelligent folk come in front of me and say, game over, Rick Lotek, game over, man. I had this one friend say, I saw the curve. When you look at the Lake Pontchartrain images, you see the curve. You see the curve. Looky, everybody, you see the curve. Several people have come to me now at this point and said, yeah, Rick Lotek, what do you got to say about that? Hey, admit it, you can see the curve. And I go, oh, is that what you think? You think you can see the curve in those images? Well, I have nasty news for you. You can't see the curve in those images. You are actually seeing the same thing that the weatherman in Chicago is accusing us of seeing, a mirage, monsieur. It's a mirage, man. No, it's not a mirage. How do you know it's not a mirage? I can tell you how I know it's not a mirage. If you look at the image, okay, go and get one. Go and download one. Check one out. I can't understand what I've done, why I cannot find my own. But here, you will definitely find one. Look up Lake Pontchartrain. Lake Pontchartrain power lines demonstration, to be exact. And here's what you're going to find. Oh, what you're going to find. You're going to look at these power lines, and you're going to look at the power lines, and they're going to go off in the distance, and it's going to look like, oh my goodness, look at that. There's the curvature of the Earth. No, it isn't. It's a mirage. There's your mirage. How do I know it's a mirage? Well, I'm going to tell you. Take a look at that horizon. Tell me what you see. Does the horizon curve at the same angle that the bridge or the power lines curve? No. In fact, that sucker doesn't curve at all. See, here's what you're missing. There should never be a photograph accompanied with words to explain to you what it is that you're seeing. Because by explaining to you what it is that you're looking at, they are manipulating what it is that you're seeing. The apocryphal book of Thomas tells us to learn what it is we're looking at. And only then will we be knowing what it is that we're seeing. In other words, if you point up to the air and say, look, what's that? I say, it's a UFO. See, I just told you. And I've removed all of your own perceptions and installed my own. Now, from now on, every time you see one, that's what you're going to think it is. Aliens and UFOs. How do you know? Well, some guy told me. This is getting a little bit ridiculous here. When you can look at a picture like that and you can see the curved downrange, in other words, what's going away from you, you can see that curve. Yeah, sure, that curves. I had a fellow one time come up to me and say, gee, that's a nice dress you're wearing. No, actually, I'm just kidding. He said, when I look at railroad tracks, I can see the curve. Curve, not curve. He said, when I stand on the tracks and I look, I can see the tracks go way off and they dip over top of the globe. I got a picture of it, and I said, show it to me. Lay it on me. And another thing, quit making fun of the dress I'm wearing. So anyway, this guy pulls out the picture and he shows it to me and he says, look at there, see? The tracks, they flow over top of the mountain. Or the curve of the earth. And I said, son, didn't they tell you to learn what it is you're looking at? I said, look at the horizon. The flat part. What you're looking at, the tracks, how they go way down and they just disappear. And the horizon stays flat. I said, how do you explain that, son? He looked at me for a few minutes and he said, I said, I'm going to tell you how. What you're looking at, son, is a mirage. You get that? It's a mirage, man. It ain't real. What you're looking at is a trick played on you by your eyeballs. Look, let me explain. See, your brain can only take in so much data. Your eyes and your brain, I should say. Imagine how much data there is in, say, 65 miles. How much visual data that your eye has to collect and your brain has to assimilate and make fun of it, or make a sense of it. Just imagine what your eye and your brain is going through when you try to look at a distance. Okay? The further out you go, the more visual information there is for your mind to process. So instead of overloading your mind, what happens is your mind kind of pinches it off. As far as the eye can see is approximately between 3.5 to 6 miles. Of course, according to conditions, but at 3.5 miles, the human eye has difficulty, and it's not the human eye, it's the human brain. It's likely that the eyeball could process that data infinitely. However, the human brain cannot. So the human brain tells the eyes, wait, pinch it off at 3.5 miles. That term, pinch it off, is perfect for this, because that's exactly what happens. It kind of curves it off. That's your optical illusion. There's your mirage. Because again, if you look at the horizon, even though the power lines go out and curve downwards, the tracks go out and curve downwards, seemingly illustrating the curvature of the earth. But if you look at the horizon, you will no doubt notice that the horizon remains straight. So how do you explain that? If you're telling me that it's 23 miles downrange that you can see across Lake Pontchartrain, about 23.4 miles across Lake Pontchartrain, 23.7 possibly. Yet you can see all the way across that, but in looking all the way across that, you can see the curvature of the earth. But laterally, side to side, there's another 27 miles. At that same distance, don't you think that there should be a curve on the horizon? And not only that, Lake Pontchartrain is 26.7 miles across. According to the theory, 8 miles to the 8 inches per mile squared, you should not be able to see 26 miles. 24 miles. You should not be able to see that far. So the video itself and all of the images coming out of the Lake Pontchartrain garbage is all just that, garbage. And it's right there. The evidence is right there in front of you in two different ways. The horizon remains flat, and the fact that you're supposedly looking 23.8 miles across Lake Pontchartrain, and according to 8 inches per mile squared, you shouldn't be able to see 23.8 miles across Lake Pontchartrain. So don't let that garbage get to you, friends. And once again, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Short Attention Span Theater. Got another hour to go, and we're going to continue on looking at this this concept of the power lines on Lake Pontchartrain, aka the power train. Let's call it the power train. And we don't see too much action tonight on the chat line, but we got a couple people out there tuning in on YouTube. And we also have our mirror going on in Germany with over 100,000 people. Hello to everyone in Germany. Hello to everyone on the West Coast listening live to the station. And hello to everyone on YouTube tuning in, listening and watching. And don't go anywhere. Please don't go anywhere. You're going to discover that this next hour, Some great information is going to be shared, and we're going to make some breakthroughs, and we're going to blow NASA wide open, and to the point to where no one will ever listen to NASA again. Or so I think. And at least wise, that is the intention. So if you would please come back after this commercial break, and a message from our friends at FENewsNet.com, and we'll be right back after that. Check it out. This is Short Attention Span Theater on your Monday, and we shall be right back in just a moment, right after this news brief. This is another Flat Earth News Brief, and I'm Rick Lotek. The Flat Earth rocket man, Mad Mike Hughes, finally went up. Just like the self-taught rocket scientist always pledged. This is another Flat Earth News Brief, and I'm your host, Rick Lotek. This story from May 11th, 2018. Australia's first Flat Earth convention was supposed to end with a bang. The convention flyer described it as an ocean-level world record laser attempt, a repetition of the Bedford level experiment on record-breaking scale. A laser beam sent miles across the sea to another point, a boat probably. Samuel Burley Rowbotham first conducted the experiment with surveying equipment in 1838. He used the results to declare that the Earth was flat, and in 1870, in response to a wager, biologist Alfred Russel Wallace repeated the test. Adjusting for the effects of atmospheric refraction for his troubles, Wallace won $500 and a lifetime of death threats and litigation from the people who claimed he cheated. Google Maps now zooms out to a round Earth. Click on the new globe mode, zoom out, and the Earth will morph into a globe. Such a creative name is globe mode. It's designed to address a problem with often used flat projections, and also, in our opinion, to kind of quell all the fuss about everybody talking about the fact that the Google Earth zooms out into a flat Earth. Also known as a Mercator projection, the renderings don't accurately portray the areas of regions that are far away from the equator, and that was the excuse for why they always zoomed out into a flat Earth. For example, Greenland appears to be about the same size as Africa, even though it's actually much smaller than the content. In a tweet, Google said globe mode fixes that problem. With 3D globe mode on Google Maps desktop, Greenland's projection is no longer the size of Africa. The Google Maps team tweeted on Friday, "Just zoom all the way out." Globe mode is available only on desktop and, like Google Earth, is part of the company's efforts to bring more accurate representations of the world to its users, and as we said, to cover up a couple of mistakes that they made previously about the flat Earth maps. Flat Earthers, many of whom believe our planet is encircled by a wall of ice and that gravity doesn't exist, won't really have a problem with this new Google map because we already know what's real. From a flat Earth point of view, this is a change from one inaccurate projection, and that's no doubt. The social media Google Maps is always trying to deliver, as they say, what customers want to receive. Most people firmly believe that the Earth is a globe, but that doesn't deter us one bit. Flat Earthers can discuss this use at their leisure if they can't get their convention organized according to Google Maps. For more Flat Earth news, join us right here on Flat Earth Radio. I'm your host, Rick Lotek. Thanks for listening.
Listen on, as this is the truth of it. Humans are always fighting over something, be it football, the color of our skin, religion, or territorial rights. But fighting leads to killing, and killing gets to boring, and that damn near was the death of us all. Quit fighting. You are not on a spinning ball cometing through a vast emptiness called space, O ye people of the plane. The Earth is flat. Keep it real and keep it live on furlive.com. The Ferret. The only flat Earth related. Music and talk integrated. Never overrated flat Earth internet radio station. Coming to you from sunny San Diego, California, USA. This is where you wanna be, man. The Ferret. The Earth is flat. Can you dig it? I knew that you could.
The Ferret. The Ferret. The Ferret. The Ferret.
Good morning, morning.
You listen when your body says, I'm tired, or I'm hungry. Are you listening? Would you listen if your body said, I have pain and pressure in my abdomen. I feel bloated for no good reason. Or I get too full too fast. I'm spotting, but I've already gone through menopause. Or I have to go to the bathroom more often and more urgently than usual. These can be signs of a gynecologic cancer, like cervical, ovarian, uterine, vaginal, and vulvar cancers. Symptoms aren't the same for everyone. If your body says something may be wrong, please listen. And if it goes on for 2 or more weeks, see a doctor. It may be nothing, but find out for sure. Learn the symptoms and get the inside knowledge about gynecologic cancers. Call 1-800-CDC-INFO.
Mosquitoes will bite day and night, so protect yourself with these tips. Keep mosquitoes outside by shutting doors and covering windows with screens. Use EPA-approved insect repellents anytime you're outdoors. Cover your skin with long sleeves and pants. Mosquitoes lay their eggs in water. Just a bottle cap of water is all they need. So drain, refresh, or cover anything around buildings that can hold water at least weekly, and put away outside items that aren't being used. A message from Santa Clara County Public Health Department.
First guest tonight is the beloved astrophysicist, author, and director of the Hayden Planetarium at the American Museum of Natural History. Please welcome my friend, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
The stars?
None of the above.
So the math says there should be more there, but we can't see it.
Right, so it's actually missing gravity rather than missing mass. Sorry, it's gravity with no known source.
Which is what I said.
I like to think of it as dark gravity.
Dark gravity?
It's really dark gravity.
Wow.
Really what it is. There's some mysterious pressure in the vacuum of space, which we call dark energy. But we should just call those Fred and Wilma. I joke about this, because we don't know what they are.
So wait,
don't give it a name that makes you think we know what it is, because we don't actually know what it is. But it's there. We measure it. A mysterious pressure in the vacuum of space that is forcing the universe to accelerate in its expansion. And I've written about this because I lose sleep over this fact. And all the galaxies are the source of our knowledge of cosmology, of the Big Bang. Everything we know about the history of the universe comes to us from these galaxies. If they accelerate beyond our horizon, the next generation of cosmic explorers will only have the stars of the Milky Way to think about. And so there would have been an entire
to be a good place to sort of bring in all the pagan worshippers who are already celebrating that time of year.
It worked.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We won. Now, okay, so
we don't understand the origin of 85% of all the gravity of the universe. It's not black holes, comets, stars, planets. It's none of the above.
So the math says there should be more than...
Yes, it's yours yes, the Big Bang itself, using Einstein's equation. Having accelerated so significantly that all the galaxies of the night sky will have accelerated beyond our horizon.
Okay, so...
The Big Bang. Everything we know about the history of the universe comes to us, and from these
there would have been an entire
explorers will only have the stars of the Milky Way to think
okay,
about.
Shut the fuck up, asshole.
Now, okay, so...
And welcome back to the third hour of the Short Attention Span Theater, and I'm your host, Rick Lotek. Let's see. We got to take a look at some of this stuff here that is coming to us right now from the UK. And what's going on over there is the same thing that's always going on over there. Police are clashing with civilians and busting heads. And this time, the yellow vests have something to do with it. So you can believe that if you're looking at, if you're following along on YouTube, if you look at the screen, you'll see we're going to look at some of these images of the police clashing with these yellow vests. And if you're listening on the station, we'll try to describe it for you. Or you can look it up yourself. Go to any search engine, Google, whatever, and look up police clash with yellow vests. And try to follow along. Okay, now here you got, this is mostly in the UK. I don't know why it's not yet actually spread here to the States, but give it a chance, it will. And you remember I was talking about these yellow vests, how simple they are to get. If you recall, we were talking about it. You can get them on Amazon. They're just that simple. So, you know, if you're going to one of these things, if you're heading off to a protest, go get you a yellow vest first, as your saving grace. You know, if a cop is over there kicking the shit out of you and you're wearing a yellow vest, and I'm not saying there's this and that and other thing going to happen, but you get the drift, okay? Make sure that you have your yellow vest. And there are other reasons too, because we're not hiding behind this nonsense anymore. If we've had it. So we've been searching for a lot of years for a unifying symbol. I think we found it, friends, in this yellow vest. And if you look, they're putting them on kids too, which is a great thing. Put them on your kids. Although, again, for the life of me, I don't understand why anyone take a child to a demonstration. I'm going to stretch out and I'm going to say that if you think for 1 minute that the police will not football kick a child like they football kick those poor dogs, they will. They won't hesitate to fire tear gas into the crowd where they know there's a child. They did not hesitate to fire tear gas. Oh, dude, I smoked some really awesome stuff the other day, man. Really, what was it called? It was called tear gas. Don't be ridiculous. Tear gas. You know, here's what I actually heard. Some of this, I call them dissonance. You know what? There's many different levels of dissonance. Some people like to talk revolution, but I know some friends up in, let's see, where are they? Out in Arizona, that live revolution. These people regularly stand and face down hordes of police. And they're the ones that were asking me, hey, did you get your yellow vest? Did I get my yellow vest? Well, yes, I did. I've got it on right here. I'm wearing my yellow vest. Hey, you want to see? Oh, all right, if you insist. How you doing? Peace. To the people out there in YouTube land, great to see you. I know, I see you, but, you know, check it out. Great for you to see us. Follow us for a while. Check us out. See how you like us. We've got 24/7 radio station, internet radio. We've got the YouTube channel here. We've got websites. We've got publishing. We've got it down. So if you need to, if you're interested in anything that has anything to do with the flat earth, you need to check us out. Come and listen to us at flatearthradiolive.com, The Ferret, and you'll see why. We're called The Ferret. To search out. To find by searching. But anyway, let's get back to this. Here's what we're looking at. We're searching out the police clashing with the yellow vests. These images here are coming from France, where there's there's a lot of crap going down in France. You're not talking about a group of people complaining about some religious sect. These people are complaining about not being able to get water and stuff, you know, electricity. These people are truly engaged in a battle in France. And most of the nation is engaged in it. And I believe that it's nations like France here that are the ones that are coming back and telling us, hey, where do you find these yellow vests at? They're not so hard to find here. But from what I hear, there's no substantiation yet. But I'm hearing that in countries like this, there is a shortage of yellow vests. If you are in a nation right now where there is a shortage of yellow vests, then you need to contact me right now at ricklotek@yahoo.com. Send me an email or send a message here to the station or whatever. And we'll get you some yellow vests. If you look, they're like $2, $2.50 a piece if you buy them in bulk. And we'll get you some yellow vests. Because we want you guys to know we're behind the collective there. I almost said movement, but I caught myself. You see this picture right here. And how about this? Yellow vest. I don't know if this will go anywhere. I don't know if they'll probably smash it down like they do everything else, but we're going to give it a try. Okay, we're going to make sure that the world recognizes. You see what I'm saying? Hey, world, you need to recognize. You see what I'm saying? World, you need to wake the fuck up. Because it's people that don't understand, people that don't see, people who suffer from nothing less than indifference. That is the problem. You people who suffer from indifference, you are the problem. Look at what's going on in other places, elsewhere. You know, we take so much for granted, don't we? Walk down the street women walk down the street without the fear of somebody pulling up and throwing acid in their face because they're showing a little bit of titty. You know what I'm saying? We enjoy kids. We send our kids out to play in the streets. I mean, there's always a chance that they could never come back, but we don't really concern ourselves with that here in this country, not the way they do in other parts of the world. Let us never forget to remember our comrades in other places. You see these people, if you're looking on YouTube, certainly you've seen these pictures before. If you haven't, take a look at what's going on out there. These are new. These pictures are brand new. They're just coming to us. Some of them are dated the 6th of January. So this stuff is just now going on out there. These people are serious. And there is the wearing of the yellow vest. In France, there's a lot of issues with crime. All the things that I just mentioned where, we Americans enjoy. I guess they don't have that as much as we do in France. And so they are petitioning, let's put it lightly, let's use that word, against the government to redress these issues. Let's put it that way. And if you're just joining us, check it out. You're listening to Short Attention Span Theater, and I'm your host, Rick Lotek. We are speaking of... wait a minute, we should be actually playing some cool tunage in the background. We can do that. And at the same time, we are looking at the yellow vest phenomena. Okay, we can do that. Let's continue looking at these yellow vests. I hope that you've got YouTube. I don't mean to redress the station because we have a fantastic genre going there with our 24/7 format. But our problem has long been the issue that we're only audio. But that's not a problem anymore, is it? Because now here we are on YouTube. So how do you like that? Check it out. Right now, what you're looking at, if you're watching the YouTube channel, you're looking at some of the images coming out of France where overnight demonstrators and clashes with demonstrators and police broke out as demonstrations began. And this is in Paris, by the way. The 3rd weekend in a row. Hey, look at that. Paris is under siege by its own people. Almost unimaginable. Hoping that you're looking at these images. Follow along with us on YouTube if possible. We are looking today and at the yellow vest, at the phenomena of the yellow vest. Here's where it just erupted. This is the amazing thing about it. This is the only way that you're ever going to get a unifying symbol. It cannot be established. It cannot be planned. It can't be ramrodded. It has to pop up. Look at this. Check it out. It's popped up. We've got it. That's right. The image of the yellow vest. And it doesn't end there, too. There's nothing wrong with green. I've seen some green vests out there. And I don't guess that's the point. The point is not the color. It is nothing less than a unifying image. Friends, do you get that? It's time to celebrate. We have found our unifying image. We have found our unifying image, and it is the yellow vest. Hope you're following along, if you're able to, on YouTube, looking at some of these images that are coming from Paris, France, where currently a protest is sweeping the entire nation. Hundreds of French civilians and hundreds of French high school students facing off wearing yellow vests. And not only there, in Canada. This is where my friends are from that have asked me where they can get the yellow vest set. Here you go. Get a look at this one. Americans protesting what they're calling the president of the rich. It would seem as though they're calling themselves the left. A mass movement known as the Yellow Vests. Yeah, it's catching on. Not just in France. So, viva! Vive la revolution! Is no longer just for French, is also for Americans, eh? And if you're just joining us, welcome on board. You're listening to the Short Attention Span Theater. In our third hour, I think so. Anyway, got about another hour and a half to go. Stick with us. We're looking at the Yellow Vest movement. Well, one thing you can tell is that there are quite a few people behind this yellow vest phenomena, which is a good thing. That's actually exactly what we want, isn't it? You see, this is what we've needed for the longest time, is a cementing image. We were hoping that it wouldn't have to be some dead students lying face down in the dirt at a college or university. Yeah, we were hoping it would be something like this, something peaceful, like, well, like a yellow vest. What could be more peaceful? And look at the movement. Look at them. Look at them go. What a pity that we just can't all get along, isn't it? What a pity. The one thing that you'll notice from this, all these people, is that they're not afraid anymore. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they know that the cops are looking at them. They know that they're in trouble. But you know what? There comes a time when the people will up and roll. This is what we look for. And in order to do so, we need a unifying symbol. We need a flag. A flag that all the nations of the world will come under. And look, there it is. See it? France, Lebanon, the USA, Israel, all coming together under that same unifying flag, if you will. And there it is. Amazing images that we're looking at here coming out of France and other places with the Yellow Vest movement. And you're listening and watching on ferlive.com, The Ferret. You're listening to the Short Attention Span Theater, and I'm your host, Rick Lotek. We are currently right now looking at some incredible images out of France, and some more places. The Netherlands, Saudi Arabia, Italy. Amazing, isn't it? Friends, is it possible that governments from all over the world are not putrid, and that there's nothing in common with them and all this nastiness that goes on all around us? Is there anyone out there right now who believes that each one of these things that you saw in Israel and Tel Aviv and now in all over the world, are these all isolated incidents? Or is there the real possibility that all the governments of the world are demonized? That's what I think. I don't think it's just here in the United States. I think all this ugliness is everywhere. It's because Lucifer has been loosed upon the face of the earth. And all he does all day and all night is rule. It's his people out there that perform these incredible functions against us, you know, in the roles of being a police officer or something. Like you saw that one image there of that Israeli cop bashing heads. These people are not, they can't be all human. They've been so indoctrinated in their lives as to control, as to beat someone like that. But anyway, in about, here we go, another hour has flown. Isn't it Isn't it amazing how fast time flies when you're having fun? In about 6 minutes, we're going to break away for another Flat Earth News Brief. Brought to you by those guys at FENewsNet.com. And we're also going to check out our little short commercial break. So I want to let you know we got one more hour to go of the Short Attention Span Theater. So if you would stick around, come back. We're going to talk one more time about the where to go to get your own yellow vest. And also we're going to look at a few more images of that and get a look at some of the countries where that is actually going on at. So, top of the hour, be breaking away. Stick around for a while. And you are listening to Short Attention Span Theater right here on FERlive.com. How you doing out there on your Monday evening, Monday, Tuesday morning, something like that, whatever. And right now we're going to break away for our 10-minute commercial break, and including our Flat Earth News Brief. At the top of every hour, that's the way we roll right here at flatearthradio.com. So if you would please consider coming back for the final hour. The final hour of Short Attention Span Theater. And we're going to look into a little bit more about the orange vests. So yeah, definitely it's cool that we talk about this, because this is a worldwide thing. I don't know if you realize this, because the mainstream media tends to keep things like that down. But guess what? That's not going to happen. So we're going to look into that a little bit more. So by all means, come back after this Flat Earth Radio live commercial message, and we'll get right back with you. Only here on Flat Earth Radio Live. This is a Flat Earth News Brief brought to you by FENewsNet.com. When most people think about a bright star in outer space, they think of a hot plasma-filled sphere like our sun. It would be inconceivable for them to believe that a star like this could ever create water. But since stars are linked to the creation of life as we know it, wouldn't it make sense that both water and light come from the stars? Researchers at Herschel Space Observatory of the European Space Agency wanted to look deeper into this. They found a protostar in the southern constellation known as Perseus. It is believed that this protostar is only 100,000 years old or less, so it is very young for a star. Surrounding the protostar is a huge cloud of dust and gas, which is responsible for creating it. The observatory used an infrared instrument to detect the chemical elements of these clouds. They discovered that the clouds were made from oxygen atoms and hydrogen atoms. If you remember high school science class, then you will know that oxygen and hydrogen are the two chemical elements that make up water. And you can't have water without these two elements. So therefore, one can only conclude that the protostar must be producing water if oxygen and hydrogen are present. And this prompted the researchers to study those atoms and see which path they take. Sure enough, it was discovered that the protostar forms water. How is this possible? Aren't stars supposed to be like 180,000 degrees Celsius? According to the theory, protostars have a north pole and south pole just like planets. These are the coldest areas of the protostar, which are about 2,000 to 3,000 degrees Celsius. While this may seem hot to us, it is actually cold for a star. It is these low temperatures that allow protostars to rapidly shoot water droplets like a jet from their pole regions. But as the droplets reach space, the extremely hot gas cloud surrounding the protostar turns the water into gas. The gas keeps moving until it eventually gets far enough away from the cloud to where the temperature is cold again. Then the gas reverses itself and turns back into water. If you consider how all the protostars in the galaxy are probably doing this same thing, this explains how outer space is consumed with oceans of water. The protostars are just constantly jetting out water that turns to gas. If you consider how all the protostars in the galaxy are probably doing this same thing, this explains how outer space is consumed with oceans of water. The protostars are just constantly jetting out water that turns to gas and then turns into water again. All this water continues to fill up outer space and make it a bigger ocean of water. Of course, we still need to convince people here on Earth that space water exists in the first place. At least for now, there is a clear explanation as to where the water comes from. Of course, we still need to convince people here on Earth that space water exists in the first place. At least for now, there is a clear explanation as to where the water comes from. NASA might admit water molecules exist in space, but they won't admit that oceans of water exist there and that our entire flat plane is surrounded by it. If someone could just make a homemade rocket and travel past the exosphere, then they could discover this for themselves and a whole lot more. For more Flat Earth News Briefs, log on to FENewsNet.com, and I'm your host, Rick Lotek. Hey there, this is Flat Earth Radio Live, station production manager Rick Lotek. And I'm here to tell you about Flat Earth News Talk with Wes Stace. Only we've got him, only Flat Earth Radio Live. Join Wes Stace and Flat Earth News Talk Saturday and Sunday, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and ending at 4, and then starting again at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time and ending at 8 o'clock. Wes Stace with Flat Earth News Talk. Only here on Flat Earth Radio Live, The Ferret. You can catch us at FERLIVE.com. Flat Earth Radio Live. Flat Earth Expo, Aotearoa, New Zealand, hosted in Auckland, April 27th and 28th, 2019. A jam-packed 2-day, 3-part event to showcase Flat Earth and related topics, such as the Antarctic Circle and lands beyond, NASA, scientism, religion exposed, the Matrix control, vaccinations, chemtrails, political globalism and the NWO, fake news and false education, astronomy untouched, weather modification, historical hoaxes, financial systems, what are UFOs and aliens, biblical cosmology, and much more. The 3 parts include Broaden Your Horizon, a VIP Flat Earthers dinner, and a Unity conference. For tickets and contact information, phone 021-028-93402 or email admin@fenzexpo.co.nz, or you can write them at their address at P.O. Box 51010, Pakuranga, Auckland, New Zealand 2010. Or you can log on to their website at www.fenzexpo.co.nz. The 2019 Flat Earth New Zealand Expo, sponsored by FENZ Trust and FERLive.com. QE 2019 is coming to Southern California, February 22nd and February 23rd, 2019. Speakers will be presenting on the hottest topics of the day. 9/11, was it an inside job? The moon landing, did we really go? Scientism, has science become another religion? CBD, what is Big Pharma hiding from us? Vaccines, are they safe or are they harming our children? And no Question Everything conference would be complete without the hottest topic on the internet today, what is the true shape of the Earth? The 2019 Question Everything conference is shaping up to be like no other conference of its kind. This will be the event that people will be talking about for years to come. So get your tickets for the event and the VIP luncheon right now at QE2019.com. Southern California, February 22nd and 23rd, 2019. For additional information, go to QE2019.com. QE2019.com. And if you use promo code FEMG, you'll receive 25% off your ticket price right now. Sponsored by QE 2019 and FERLive.com. www.ferlive.com. Flat Earth Radio. Flat Earth Radio that makes us see.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by brought to you by our radio.
Flat Earth Radio is a production of Flat Earth Media Group.
Asking these questions that no one ever asked before because we didn't even think about this. I think it's like God unlifting the veil, you know? He's starting to show people, look, you want to believe this? It's a lie. People are asking questions and truth is going to prevail. It's like, yeah, the biggest problem is that we're not able to eliminate questions, so therefore we can't assimilate. And, you know, we're a constant. People are asking questions and truth is going to prevail.
Join your host, Shelley Lewis, every Wednesday afternoon at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 7 o'clock Central, and 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Down the Rabbit Hole with Shelley Lewis.
Down the Rabbit Hole with host Shelley Lewis. Only here on Flat Earth Radio Live. The Ferret.
Thank you for listening to Flat Earth Radio. 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 Thank you for listening to Flat Earth Radio.
Thank you for listening to Flat Earth Radio. Hey, we're here at the chalet. We finally made it. Didn't have to stand out there in the snow too much tonight. But that's just too bad. I mean, sometimes it's an adventure out there, standing around in the snow waiting. But just to let you know, got dropped off right outside there and got inside. Got our boots stomped off. Here we are in the crowd, getting ready to go into the main mezzanine. Yeah, you're right, yeah. Oh, this crowd. You know what? I'm starting to recognize some of these people out here. There's that same lady, the one in that red thing over there. She comes in, that lady she's talking to, the two of them, they're in here every night. They look at the same. Yeah, we're making it around here tonight. I see. We've gotten here a little bit early tonight. Last night we were kind of late. The show was already rolling when we got here. But check this out. If you're just joining us, you have reached the concert portion. The concert portion of the show tonight for SAST, Short Attention Span Theater. And usually what we do right here is we go up to the chalet, to the Swiss Chalet. Can't tell you where it's at. Can't show you any images of it because if I did, it would blow my welcome up here. So, the concert. Anybody know what the concert's going to be tonight? Most of these people don't seem to know. Some of them, they act like they have a playbill or something. I don't know. I never know. We never know till we get here, to tell you the truth. There's no knowing anyway until we hear them people out there. Those people down there starting to cheer, and yeah, time to make our way down the stairs. Come on, let's go. Come on. The concert's about to start. We got to get all the way down the mezzanine, cross the bottom of the stage here, and back up to the. Come on, let's go. We got to move. Come on. Follow the crowd. Yeah, just like I said, just follow the. Can't you hear? Listen down there. You hear them? Never mind those people back here. Let them go. Come on. Here we go. We're ready. We come around the corner there and we step into the concert stadium. Oh my God, look at this place. That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here. We're here. We don't know what's going on yet. That's a good thing I mean. Yeah. Yeah, trying to get up there. Here we go, done. Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the concert at the Chalet. Right here, only here on FERlive.com. Where else are you going to find this? You can't even get in this place. And I'm not even sure who this is, these guys. I'm not even sure. But we're going to have to listen to them. Let's find out. occurred to me who this is. This is Eddie Kowalczyk and Live. Did you get that? Eddie Kowalczyk and Live.
Like water, being down in abuse. Hey, hey, hey. All over you, all over me. The song, the feel, the sky. I've been trying to hope you'll see. The song, the feel, the time. Baby, now lay me down. Oh, yeah. Our love is like water, being down in abuse for being straight. Our love is no other than me alone. For your day, our love is like little angels, been down in abuse. All over you, all over me. The song, the feel, the sky. I've been trying to hold your seat. The song, the feel, the time, baby. Now, come on, lay me down. Baby, now, baby, now. Lay me down, lay me down, lay me down. All over you, all over me, baby. All over you, all over me. Baby, now lay me down. Baby, now, lay me down, lay me down, our love is no other than me alone. Hey, hey, hey. All over you, all over me. The song, the feel, the sky. I've been trying to hold your seat. The song, the feel, the time, baby. Now lay me down. Baby, now, baby, now. Lay me down, lay me down, lay. Hey. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. Oh.
Eddie Kowalczyk, man. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. We gotta get out of here. Come on. I think they saw me shooting video back there just a minute. See that? We're caught, man. We gotta get out of here.
It came without warning. A love like I ain't never felt before.
Out the back door, we must go. Come on, let's go.
Let
Come
my
on.
destiny calling.
Come on, we gotta go. Come on.
Lying there all naked on the floor. And suddenly, out of the blue, she's singing, oh, baby, let my love ease your pain. Bend over, skip to the river once again. I'll give you life, oh, baby, let my love ease your pain tonight. Come on. She came
Come on, we gotta go back up to the hall.
yes, she did. Just like an angel come from heaven in the night. The kiss makes me tremble. So she pulls me close and she holds me up so tight. And suddenly, out of the blue, she's singing, oh,
I think that guy back there saw me. I tried to switch to some live video back there, just to get an idea, give everyone an idea what the chalet looks like. I think that guy saw me, so we had to get out of there. Anyway, that's about all we can stand for the night. It's time to cut out. That was once again Eddie Kowalczyk and live on stage here. They're still going on down there, can't you hear? So we gotta go though. We gotta get upstairs before somebody comes and finds us. Let's get through this crowd before somebody comes. Where are the stairs tonight? There's the stairs. Last night they were on the other side. Oh, never mind. Let's not talk about it. Come on, let's get up them. Come on. Let's get up them stairs, man. All right, here we go. Get out of here. It's always a shame that we can't stay for the concert, isn't it? But we get to hear a song. What are you complaining about? We got to get out of this crowd. Okay, let's head out straight for the 4th floor. Tonight there aren't too many people around. And if you're just joining us, you're listening live to the Short Attention Span Theater. We are here at the Swiss Chalet. We just came from a concert with Eddie Kowalczyk and live. That was quite an experience. I didn't even know who they were supposed to be from the beginning there. You can still hear him down there, still on stage. The crowd here, there's always so many people. I know where we're heading. For the war room. What, you guys don't want to do the war room tonight? Nobody wants to do the war freaking room, man. What's wrong with the war room? Alright, we'll skip the war room tonight. A bunch of weenies. Nobody wants to go to the war room. What's wrong with being shot at? You got a problem with being shot at? How about the Zen room? We could go in there and have some Zen music. No. How about on a balloon? Boy, they're really kicking butt down there. We got to go upstairs more. You know, that's one thing that we have not done yet is, hot air balloons. Now, granted, it's dangerous and you can't hear the concert too well, but let's give it a try anyway, you want to. Let's head up into a hot air balloon. Leave all this sound behind. Oh, look! Into the hot air balloon door. As we leave the sound of the concert behind. Bye-bye, concert. Bye-bye, chalet. Very cold out here tonight, but let's just hang above it in the air. See what it's like up here. I've often wondered. Still hear the concert hall going on down below. We can, up here, we can really see how big. It's a good thing we're tethered to the ground. I don't want to go blowing off down the mountainside. If you look to the north, you can see nothing but mountains. Below us, you can actually see the river as it snakes through along the sides of the mountainside. And look at that frozen waterfall. It stays frozen all throughout the year. Can you hear that? That's the sound of the gas. Hear it? Watch it. Pull the handle again. Hear it? Keep us high, man. But like I said, again, we are tethered to the ground because I don't want to go floating off down the mountainside. To the south, to the north. Oh, look at all the other balloons. What are they doing up here in the dark? Doesn't make sense. If you're just joining us, we are on a hot air balloon ride above the Swiss Chalet. It's too bad you didn't get here earlier. We heard a bit of the concert. What's going on still down below us there? If you listen, look, I'll put the mic over the side of the edge here. You can actually hear the. Wait a minute, listen. No, it's not. Let's try to descend into a different place. When we come down this time, and here, how about this? Let's come down right in the middle of the concert hall again. No, maybe we better not. The wind is getting kind of foul up here. Oh dear. Yeah, you're right. The wind is coming up. The wind is coming up bad. Let's get the hell down from here. Yeah, well, anyway, we got about a half an hour left on this particular Monday edition of the Short Attention Span Theater. Right now, we're about 1,000 feet or so above the chalet, tethered to a cord so that we don't go floating off down the mountainside. I can see, once again, verified that there are no parking lots, no roads, no cars coming up. And a gondola system that looks like it's made for freight and not people. And, of course, if you were with us yesterday, actually last night, we broke through the secret. We found out the final secret of the Swiss Chalet. It's got a train station down there underneath. And it comes out, well, I just took the first stop. Can't tell you where that is. Well, I'll tell you. It was in Pennsylvania. But it actually wasn't there. And as a matter of fact, there is no Swiss Chalet. I've made it all up. I can't tell you. We're not in the hot air balloon room right now at the chalet. And we're not about to come back down through an opening in the roof via a crank. That's bringing us down right now. So much for the hot air balloon ride. That was really a lot of fun. Never been in one of those before. I wanted, however, to land right back down where the crowd was. If that's quite all right. Actually, inside of the mezzanine. Which is kind of cool, don't you think? And of course, these people are here standing in the mezzanine. They're always here. As a matter of fact, I've just now noticed that they're the same people. Which is why I noticed earlier that those same two women, it turns out that they're not only the same two women, they are really, actually, in truth, the same two women. They've likely appeared to have never left. That's amazing. How could they have never left? Okay. In this, let's go a little further down. This is the room. Well, we don't want to go in there. That's the Zen room. Nobody wanted to be in there. There's a nice room. No, that's not a good one either. I tell you what, this is what I've always wanted to do myself. The life of a pirate. If we just can think about that for just a moment, and that all these people around us and the concert and all that sound just rather kind of falls away, don't you know? And here then, we actually can hear the sound of the wind in the background. Can't you just hear it? The sound of the wind and the sea. Come, lad, let me tell you a story about the sea. And suddenly we find, and don't we find ourselves here in quite an amazing place? And where do you suppose it could be? I don't know that, but I do know this here, that there's some wonderful, lovely music to be played when you're out here on the open sea, don't you know? Glory be, where will he be setting sail for, who can tell? Who gives a ready ship? Oh, the spray of the wind on your face. I say this is the place to be. Like you got just a little bit of jazz music in here, you know, that would just make it perfect. And all you got to do is just think about it, and all these things come about, you know. Does jazz music and the sea match? Oh, let's find out, shall we? And what a glorious place to sit right here and smoke my pipe. What do you think? Copper Scott, mate. Have a sight. Have a sit. You know, lad, did I ever tell you the one about the haunted motor? It was a motor, yes. It really was, you know. Belonged to another vessel that went down in rather shallow water too, you know, so that all the hands were lost. But that old ship, you know, she was raised again. And they took the ship's motor out, you know, as a steam motor, a steam engine, you know. And they took it out and they put it in another ship. Yeah, in all those shows, all the while from the moment on, that ship that took that motor was haunted and given up the spectres of all those sights. No sleepy seaman would go. Not on that ship, no. You know, there seems to be something there with, you don't use parts from ships. Well, seamen have died. Sitting here like this looking at the sea. You see now why men leave their homes and their place. And a seaman has not ever left some girl somewhere that he never ever regretted. That's the sea for you, she's a witch. You know, I could get to like this. Sit out here on the deck, listen to the pirates talking, the wind in the sails. And what is like that, huh? I want you to tell me. You're listening to the Midnight Sounds. Of course, it's midnight somewhere out there. You're listening to Short Attention Span Theater, and I'm your host, Rick Lotek. Right here aboard the SS Sleep Paradise. We're just digging a little bit of jazz music aboard the ship, sailing away. It's okay to have that kind of music aboard a ship, isn't it? Where are you gonna find that, huh? Nowhere on the 7 seas. And that's why you're listening live right here. Mellow lounge music. You're listening live to SAST, Short Attention Span Theater. And we are, of course, sailing aboard a pirate vessel, listening to this jazz music out here in the open sea where nothing can go wrong. Stick around, we still got about 15 more minutes to the end of the show. just a little bit more relaxing. Yes. Yes, yes. Out here where absolutely nothing can go wrong. Aboard this sleek old wooden vessel. What in the world is that? Whoa, we're under attack! Cut the music! Cut the playback! What the heck? What do you mean you said no war room tonight? This isn't the war room. Whoa! Oh no, we're actually on a British warship. No one told us that. That should spoil the hell out of any vacation right there. Let's just reset the machine and get out of this. Because this isn't going to work. I don't know where we are. I think we're on board a vessel. We're under attack. We're not in the war room again. And too late. Show over. Game over, man. Let's get out of here. Snap. And we're back the hell out of here. That's all it takes. Bye-bye, pirate ship. Bye-bye. And once again, you know where you're at. You're listening to the Short Attention Span Theater, a place where anything can and does happen. And once again, you're listening to Short Attention Span Theater. Hope you enjoyed the trip. I hope you enjoyed the concert. It rocked out, didn't it? Once again, we were listening to the music of Live. But I reckon that's just about all the time we've got for this evening show. But don't worry about it. Before you break down and start crying, get up off your knees. I got good news. We'll be back tomorrow night. At the same time, same place. So make sure that you remember that. And come be with us again. Only here on Short Attention Span Theater and Flat Earth Radio Live, The Ferret.
I just don't know what I'm supposed to do.
And once again, you know where you're at. Your Short Attention Span Theater here at FlatEarthRadioLive.com, The Ferret. Thanks for tuning in. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube. And check us out at the station. And you know where the station is. FERLive.com. And before you go running off, remember once again that we'll be here again tomorrow night, starting at 10 o'clock on the East Coast, 7 o'clock on the West Coast. Oh, I want to thank you for listening for the last 3 hours to the show. It's nothing like that short attention span theater, huh? Oh, I'm sorry to see you go, but I'm not going nowhere. I'm going back on that sleepy old ship again. Now that they've got the fighting all done. I've had it with that. No more fighting for me. You just hear that ship rocking and rolling. I don't mean rocking and rolling, jamming out. I mean rolling slowly. The kind of motion that we elderly people need. Anyway, until we shall meet again, let us pray that the Lord keeps us all. And that things like NASA and the federal government shall come crashing down. Maybe not at our hands, but definitely by somebody's hands. And until we meet again here on Short Attention Span Theater, I'm going back here in the back in the bunk of this here ship that we're on. And I'm going to take me a snooze. Hey, you guys with the yellow vest, keep it up. Don't forget where to get yellow vests. They're easy to find. If you can't find one, let me know. Doesn't matter which country you're in. We'll find a way to get one to you. And this is, again, the Shadow of... Or actually, my name is Rick Lotek, and I'm glad to have been with you. This is Short Attention Span Theater. Come back again tomorrow night starting at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern and 7 o'clock on the West Coast and 9 o'clock Central. So make sure you catch us in. And we'll do some more of this. You know, go back up on the chalet there. Check out a little concert. Do some sailing. And that kind of stuff. So until we meet again, y'all take care. We'll catch